Hey guys, my name is Simpsy. How are you all doing? Welcome to this discussion video about the next historical Total War. Guys, in today's video on it, I want to basically just create a discussion. I'm going to share with you my thoughts and opinions and sort of speculate and theorize about the next historical Total War, and I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So what do you think is going to be the next historical Total War? I have two theories that probably the likelier ones. There are going to be some other honorable mentions as well, and if I miss any out, let me know in the comments. Now, I genuinely don't know what the next historical Total War will be. I do get early access codes and games from the Creative Assembly. I did get Total War Warhammer for free, but they're not going to tell me, even if I did ask, what the next historical war. So I don't have an inside source in the Creative Assembly. That's not the case whatsoever. So guys, what really sort of spurred this video on was someone from the Creative Assembly said, this is the quote, "The next historical Total War game is set in an era we haven't tackled before." An era we haven't tackled before. Now, these two suggestions are what I would like to see as the next historical Total War. They are a little bit likely, but at the end of the day, I genuinely don't know what it's going to be. But this is what I would like to see. I would like to see either a Total War Victorian era, the era of Queen Victoria, or a Total War China, a Total War Asia campaign. They are two areas that they haven't tackled just yet, and I will go on to the honorable mentions later, but I just want to sort of dig deep into Total War Victoria and why I would want that more than Total War China, and what we could expect if we were to get it, because there's some really cool conflicts in the Victorian era. Now, firstly, if they do a Total War Victoria, we get to have my country, Australia, in Total War. That's the main thing when you want Victoria. You want to have Australia, because that'd be really quite cool. Maybe there could be a mod and you could play with your own country. I was very fond of playing as my country in Hearts of Iron. Australia, the land of the free, and the home of the I don't care about the rest because I'm so laid back I don't give a fuck. Now, what I would like to see is an Australia mod where you could, rebel against the English crown. That'd be so cool. It'd be fascinating to see, an alternative history, how Australia would have turned out if they declared their independence, threw away the English crown. Would they have been more like the United States in this alternative timeline? Or maybe more like Canada? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I think that would be fascinating. You could make your own cool Australian empire. I just want to play as Australia. Come on, is it too much for a man to ask to play as his own country? Jesus. So let's now move on to those other sort of wars that I want to talk about in the Victorian era, because there's some really interesting scenarios. So obviously the British and the French did fight the Russians in the Crimean War in the Victorian era. I would like to see the Victorian era on a grand scale like Empire. That'd be really quite cool. So you can have these little other conflicts, and then if you want to expand upon them, have DLC. So maybe zooming in on the Crimean War. Obviously the East India Trade Company began rule under India. There was a couple of rebellions there. You could really sort of, you could have that happening. You could have that happening while the grand campaign is happening as well. And then you could really zoom in for DLC. Obviously the Chinese and British Opium War in China. That's when, actually, funnily enough, the British were given Hong Kong. So you could even zoom in on that and maybe give some more unique units to the Chinese. Also, you've got the Anglo-Zulu War down in South Africa. You could do the exact same thing. So you could have these little conflicts going on in the grand scale of Empire. And then if you wanted to have some really cool DLC, you could just zoom in on the map. So you have the Grand Campaign, you have the East India Trading Company under Indian rule, you've got the Chinese and British Opium War, and then you've got the Anglo-Zulu. I'm sure there's some more wars that I'm missing, of course, but that's what I'd like to see Victoria Total War to be. We could play as Australia, it would be a lot of fun. And moving on to Total War China. Now, this is another era that they haven't tackled. Absolutely loved Shogun 2. The Boshin War was so cool in Asia, and it would be interesting to see how they would do a Total War China. It'd be new geography, new landscape, and a different era. Now, there's obviously a couple of ways that you could sort of do this. Obviously, the three kingdoms in China very early on. You could also like maybe expand the map in China to have South and North Korea, or just Korea, I guess. Korea, maybe even Southeast Asia, Japan on the map. That'd be really quite cool. You could even go further in time with DLC. Funnily enough, this actually ties back to the Victorian era when the Chinese have, the British and the Chinese have the Opium War. You could even like throw that in there. But some other honourable mentions. Now, the quote did say, this is, like I said, this is what really spurred on the video, an era we haven't tackled yet. So that's not really specific on what it is, and it could be just like a red herring, but we don't know. Now, they did say in the past, they have gone out and said this, they don't want to do 3 in a Total War series for a while, so I doubt it's going to be Medieval 3, but it could be, you never know. Empire 2 could be another theory as well if they don't want to go with Victoria. I doubt they're going to do a World War 1 or a World War 2, just simply because of the nature of how World War 1 and World War 2 were fought. They weren't fought on these massive Victoria, like the Napoleon Wars towards the end, were sort of the last times where they had these massive ditch battles, and then it went to obviously trench warfare and small squadrons taking points in World War 2. That's why I feel like Hearts of Iron really does work so well in that. But yeah, I don't know, there's probably an argument to be made that Total War can be fought in World War 1 or World War 2 era. I don't know if they want to go down that path. I really don't know, but it would be quite cool to see. I don't know how they would do it, because the thing is, what I enjoy so much about Total War is their real-time tactical battles. That is their selling point, and I don't think they probably can do that in World War 1 or World War 2. But hey, let me know in the comment section down below if you disagree. I'm open to suggestions. Have I missed some other honourable mentions? So I would really like to see a Total War Victorian era. I do really like the gunpowder, gunshot Total War. I don't mind it. I do obviously prefer like melee bows and archers and such, but I highly recommend you go out and play Empire with Darth Mod. Obviously, it did have a shaky release. That might be another reason why they would do a Victorian era. I'm just speculating, because Empire had such a bad release day, but it's very stable now with updates and Darth Mod. You can't really play it without Darth Mod Empire. But I think it is time to end the video here. Like I said, I just wanted to create a discussion. I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions, and I want to know yours. I want to create a conversation in the community about this. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my social media links, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and stay tuned for more videos on Simpzy Total War. My name has been Simpzy. Take care. Goodbye. Really close cinematic shots here, pushing through the bridge. Oh, look at... That was probably the shot of the video there.